Assalamu alaikum. So, we have been reviewing the book Studies in Islamic Civilization, the Muslim Contribution to Renaissance, authored by Ahmad Isa and Usman Ali, published in its abridged form by Triple ID. In my introductory video, I told you that how these authors are actually trying to recall and remind the world of the glorious contribution made by the Muslims in the spheres of science, social sciences, arts, literature, architecture, and culture. The authors start with the tradition of Islam, with the sources of Islam, the Quran and the Sunnah, and the authors say that Quran uses the word ilm and its derivatives 750 times in the Quran. And in the traditions of the Prophet, there is an equal emphasis on acquiring knowledge. So these authors are actually trying to impress upon the humanity that it was not only that Muslims were expanding their territories, they were carrying with them the zeal for learning, for disseminating knowledge, for preserving knowledge and improving upon the knowledge. They are recalling the great periods of the Muslims during the 8th century of the Abbasids and the glorious period of the 9th century till the 16th century in Muslim Spain. They are also recalling the greatest Muslim contribution during the Fatimids of Cairo when they established the famous Al-Azhar University. So Muslims have always been at the forefront of learning from other cultures, and the trend had been set by Rasulullah SAW by himself. You know, though, during the Battle of Badr, the captives of war caught during the Battle of Badr. Do you know that Rasulullah SAW, what did he do? He set the ransom for those prisoners who couldn't pay for their release. He told them that whosoever from among you is literate, his ransom is that he will teach 10 of our children how to read and write. So this tradition, this zeal was carried by the Muslims throughout the history. So then on we know that in fact in the Battle of Ahzab, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam acted upon the suggestion of Salman al-Farisi when Salman said that we would dig a trench in order to repel the kuffar of Makkah. So the Prophet in that very infancy stage of Islam adopted a foreign technology that was used by the Zoroastrians or the Persians in their warfare. So this was the tradition that was set by Islam. So Islam and the Muslims never shied away from learning from other cultures. You know that at Baitul Hikmah in Baghdad, Muslims actually made a conglomeration of thinkers, of philosophers, of scientists, of translators belonging to all denominations. They were coming from the Jewish background, they were Jews, they were Christians, they were Muslims. The Indian texts were being translated and the knowledge was preserved. And the title of the book is that the Muslim contribution to Renaissance has been very glaring. It's now it's manifested in the works that have been taught in the European universities. You know that Ibn Sina's Al-Qanun fi al-Tib, or you know that would it be Al-Zahrawi's book Kitab al-Tasrif. They had been taught in the European universities for decades together, for centuries together, in fact till 17th centuries. So these authors are actually trying to portray the true historical image of Islam. Islam had never been, as has been the notion that Islam spread by the power of the sword. This allegation has been denied very successfully in the book, borrowing from the Western scholars themselves. So in a sense, I would recommend you to read this book, which tries to portray Muslims showcasing their talent, their acumen, their skill, their capability and competency in all spheres, be it be social sciences, be it be sciences, natural sciences, chemical sciences, physical sciences, be it in technology, in commerce, in agriculture, in arts, in literature, everything. Muslims have been at the forefront, and the authors have successfully been able to play neutral and not to get emotional and not to live in the utopia. They are also cognizant of the current situation of the Muslim world. They, as I told you, that what Dr. Douglas had said about the Muslims, that Muslims have made tremendous contribution, and it is because of their contribution that the Renaissance and the Enlightenment has been possible. And there is equally an intellectual dishonesty on the part of the Europeans, that they concealed the names of the Muslims, or they reluctantly acknowledged the contribution of the Muslims. So we must be very proud of our history, of our past, but equally we have to draw the insights from the past, to draw the lessons from the past, so in order to make that contribution to be recreated in today's world. Assalamu alaikum.